Guys, Mary the Avon lady here. You know, the end of summer, the last day of summer is drawing near. If it's not already upon us, it's drawing near. I think it's usually around September 12th, and today is the 10th. So I wanted to make this dessert, which really sounds like a summery dessert. It's called the sea breeze salad. Sea breeze salad. It's not really a salad in the true sense of the word, but it is a Jello dessert, and I guess a long time ago they used to make, I don't know, salads with Jello, or they called them salads, whether they had vegetables in them or fruit, they just called them salads. So for those of you who don't know, I know that Jello sounds very humble in this day and age. You can go get a pack of Jello in the store and it's not expensive. But at one time, gelatin desserts or salads were a status symbol thing, because before World War II, a lot of people didn't have freezers or refrigerators, so they couldn't, you have to refrigerate these dishes that you make with Jello or gelatin. So they were kind of a status symbol that only people who could afford to have refrigerators would make, typically. Nowadays, we just think of Jello as being something that's just very humble, and we don't think about it that way anymore. So I don't know when this recipe came out. I'm assuming that it came out in the mid 20th century, in the 1950s or 1960s. And I tried to make this before, but I didn't make it exactly the way it was supposed to be made, but it still tasted really good. So I know it's going to be delicious, and I'm going to make it again. Hopefully this time I will get it right. It does have quite a few steps. Okay, let me tell you really quickly what the ingredients are supposed to be. You are supposed to have three 3-ounce packages. This is the size of a 3-ounce package right here. This is a smaller Jello. 3 of these in either lime or lemon, or a combination of both. So what I've done here is I've chosen 2 of the limes, both 3 ounces, and 1 lemon Jello, and I'll explain why in just a minute. So I have 1 lemon. You can do it however you want. You can just make it purely from lemon or lime or any combination of those. You're supposed to have 2 cups of boiling water, 2 cups of cold water. That's not really important at this point, but do keep that in mind. And you're supposed to have either 1 15-ounce can of lemon pie filling or 1 6-ounce package of Jello instant lemon pudding or pie filling mix, prepared according to package directions. So that's what I have here. I have the I don't have a can of the the lemon pie filling. I think you can buy those in a can, I'm not sure, but anyway, this is just easier. I got the lemon Jello pudding mix, which is just very easy to do, and I think I would like that better. And you also need 1 cup of crushed pineapple. So I have crushed pineapple here in the pineapple juice, of course. I don't even know if they make this in the heavy syrup or not, but you don't want that. You just want the crushed pineapple juice, water. You don't want it to be, you don't want extra sugar, just natural pineapple. And you want 2 cups of whipped cream. Okay, the first step is to dissolve the Jello mixes in the boiling water, and then to add cold water and mix according to package directions. And you're supposed to chill those and let them get thick. The only thing is that you want them to thicken, but you don't want them to be set. So I recommend that if you're going to use the pudding mix, I recommend doing this first and getting that out of the way, and then taking care of the Jello first, because I found that if you leave this too long, you don't want it to set. Like I said, you want it to thicken, but you don't want it to set so that it becomes firm, too firm. It still needs to be like a liquid, but you want it to be really thick. So get this part out of the way, drain your pineapple, okay? Make your pudding, that's what I'm gonna do. And then we're going to start mixing the Jellos, because they will set fast. So I didn't bring the milk over here. That is very important. To make the pudding, you need 2 cups of cold milk. You need to beat the pudding mix, to whisk it for 2 minutes, and then you set it aside. It's going to be set in 5 minutes. So this is my pineapple, which I've already drained. I've got that ready to go whenever I need it. I recommend getting everything ready before you start to working on your jellos, because like I said, you don't want those to get too firm too fast. You just want them to thicken up. Okay, so there's the pudding mix. Now I just have to grab my 2 cups of milk. Okay, I've got my timer set. I'm going to pour the 2 cups of milk I measured out into the bowl, and I'm going to whisk it for 2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes. Probably not going to record myself doing the whole thing because I don't want to bore you guys too much. So hopefully you get the idea. Make your Jello pudding, lemon Jello pudding according to package directions, and then set it aside. I am back and I have my water boiled. I'm going to start mixing the Jellos. And one thing that the instructions have that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is that, I don't know, I'll explain it as I go, but apparently I need to mix the 2 lime Jellos together, but it's going to be slower to set than the lemon, which I'm going to mix by itself, just 1 package. There's 2 packages of lime and 1 package of lemon. So this kind of doesn't make any sense to me. But this is what kind of happened last time, how I got kind of thrown off track. It didn't come out exactly right, but I was able to work with it, and it tasted great, but it just didn't come out the way that it was supposed to. Still tasted good. And that's the thing that I love about Jello, is that it's a very flexible kind of dessert, and you can mold it into different shapes. So I really do like it for that reason. So I've got a large bowl here. These bowls come in like 3 different sizes. So I'm going to mix the lime together and the lemon by itself, and then I'm going to separate the lime, do like half and half. I'm going to use this other bowl. It's kind of like a medium-sized bowl, just because it's going to be much slower to set. If I have 2 of them in the same bowl, it's going to take longer, and then the lemon is going to set first, and the dessert is not going to come out right. You don't want that to happen. I hope that makes sense, because this is, obviously it's more Jello, volume, whatever you want to call it. It'll take longer because you're working with 2 packages there. And okay, so where is my measuring cup? Oh gosh, hang on guys. So usually when I'm doing this, I like to listen to some music or a video or something on YouTube, but can't do that right now because I'm making a video for you guys. So I'm going to follow this the way the directions say. I'm supposed to only have 2 cups of boiling water and 2 cups of hot water. So I assume that means that you're going to pour 1 cup over the lime mixture and 1 cup over the lemon mixture. And then you're going to whisk those until the powder has dissolved. All right, since this is all going in the same dessert, I'm not going to bother to rinse off my whisk as I'm whisking these 2 mixtures here. There's no point in doing that. It's okay if they get mixed up a little bit. See what I mean? It's okay. It's not going to make any bit of difference. It's all going into the same dessert. So I'm not going to record myself doing this whole process because that'll just take too long. And you know what? I'm not even sure if I need to pour that mixture into another bowl now that I see it, because it's in such a large bowl and I only used 1 cup of water for that. So maybe it's going to be okay. So just don't follow the advice that I gave you before. I think it's going to be fine. I think they're going to both set at about the same time. Now I can't tell you exactly how long it takes for them to set. Maybe you leave them in the refrigerator, cover them up, and check back like in 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and just look and see if they have thickened, but you don't want it to turn solid. You should be able to see that it's beginning to thicken up. Like if you've ever made Jello before, you know it usually takes about, I don't know, 4 hours or so for it to completely set. But you can kind of see the process. You can see that, you know, it's starting to thicken up as it's thicken up as it's sitting there in the refrigerator. You should be able to tell. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish stirring these up, dissolving the powder, and then I'm going to set them aside and wait for them to thicken up. Oh, and by the way, you definitely want to refrigerate these. Okay, you don't want to leave them out at room temperature. You want to put them in the refrigerator so that they will thicken. Just want to make that clear. You know, I have a better idea than putting these in the refrigerator because that's going to take longer. It's going to take at least an hour or so for these to begin to get firm. But I have read that if you put them in the freezer for about 5 or 6 minutes, they should get firm very quickly. So that's what I'm going to try. So this is going to go very fast, and I recommend that during this time or just before you stick these in the freezers, make sure that you have everything ready to go so that you can be ready to mix whenever these come out of the freezer. So try putting them in the freezer if you have enough space. Cover them up with saran wrap and stick them in the freezer for about 5 or 6 minutes. Just keep an eye on them and look to see how they've changed. They should be thick but not set, not, you know, firmly set, not solid. Okay, the green Jello has really set. It's very firm. The yellow, not so much, but I'm going to go ahead and start mixing these ingredients right now with the Jello pudding. Okay, the next step is to mix all of the ingredients, the Jello and the pudding in one bowl, and you want to reserve 1 cup of this mixture. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. This one has really thickened up. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the parts that are just too thick. Yeah, that's not really thickened up at all. Maybe it should have gone into a bigger bowl. And we want to add the pudding, and then we're going to whisk this together. So what did I learn from this? Put them in larger bowls so that they will thicken up faster and hopefully at the same time, not in small bowls. You guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to mix all of this together, whisk it together. Yeah, it's actually, the one Jello has thickened up quite a bit. We'll see how it works out despite that. Okay, the next step is to reserve 1 cup of this mixture. I just dip the whole thing in there to make things simple. I'm not going to bother to pour it. I'll set it down right there. It's not quite 1 cup. Okay. Clean up this later. Okay. Got a lot of bowls here. Then you're going to pour this into a glass dish or bowl, and you're going to let it chill, refrigerate for about 1 to 2 hours until set. Okay, a little bit of advice. You want to spray a cooking dish. If you're going to put this in a glass dish, well, of course you are, spray it with cooking spray. You might want to wipe off the excess with a paper towel. At the end of our journey here, so I'm supposed to have 2 cups of Cool Whip, which I have. This is another flexible ingredient that's great for desserts. No wonder it's used for so many desserts, just like Jello. Great thing to have on hand. I can just get it out of the cup. And then you're supposed to, one thing that doesn't make this dessert, recipe doesn't make clear is what to do with this Jello Cool Whip mixture. So you're supposed to fold this into the Cool Whip and stir in the pineapple. And then this will be spread on top of the Jello mixture that we have refrigerated. It turns into a nice little lime green color here. Some of the Jello was set a little bit, the lime Jello. It set a little bit earlier than expected, but that's okay. It's all good. And the pineapple. So let's stir that up, and we're going to see how it comes out soon. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for a while I'm waiting for the other Jello in the pan to set completely. There, we're going to spread the pineapple Jello mixture over the mixture in the pan evenly, and then we're supposed to let it chill for another hour, and then is ready to serve. Oops. I have extra. Okay, I have too much. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Add more. That's what I decided to do, not let all of that go to waste. Just try to add as much as you can. Waste food. No, we don't. We don't want to waste anything. It's a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but you know, it all adds up, right? All right, now I'm going to cover this up and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Okay, this is the final result. This is how it looks. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at that. I took 2 pieces out of the dish. That's what it looks like. So this is my farewell summer dessert, or almost farewell summer dessert. We still have hot weather here for about a month, generally speaking. We can have hot weather into October. Usually by Halloween it cools off. You know, the weather's unpredictable. Sometimes it can be cool in October, sometimes not. Okay, I hope you guys get a chance to try this beautiful sea breeze dessert. Very easy to make. You just have to remember the steps. Please feel free to ask me any questions down in the comment section below. And thank you for watching my video.